Hey guys, it's ViLo Energy Healing. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the month of December. Now, these messages may not resonate with every Aquarius out there, so please just take what resonates with you and leave out the rest. Also, stay tuned for your bonus info that's going to be coming up after this. All right, Aquarius, let's see what we got going on for you this month. You know, you've been questioning almost everything lately. Okay, your decisions, people's motives, even your own instincts. You know, things that didn't sit right with you before are finally starting to make sense now. You know, you're starting to see who's been genuine and who's just all talk. You know, you've had your guard up and you've been questioning people for a reason, okay? And that's because you felt like people weren't being honest with you. And guess what? You were right. You know, you're not guessing anymore. If someone makes you question where you stand with them, then you know what? That's everything you need to know. You know, something hasn't been feeling fair. Okay, it's almost like you've been putting in way more effort than you've been getting back. And to be honest, you know, things really haven't been equal in a long time. Okay, and you've just been, I don't know, you've been letting it slide for some reason. You know, you've been holding together a situation that should have been 50-50. And instead, you did most of the work while the other side barely even tried. You know, you were being loyal to you. Okay, you were putting yourself last. You know, you've been stuck going back and forth between two choices. Okay, but no matter which one you pick, someone won't be happy. Okay, you don't want anyone to be upset or mad at you, so you just keep putting it off. You know, all that waiting and overthinking hasn't made anything better. You've been trying to please everyone that you ended up forgetting about yourself. You know, you can't make everyone happy. You know, someone's going to be upset no matter what you choose to do. So you know what? You might as well just choose yourself this time. You know, you let someone influence how you felt instead of using common sense. You know, you always knew something wasn't right, but you kept ignoring it. You're done second guessing yourself, even if it means walking away. You knew exactly what was going on, right? You just didn't want to accept it. You gave someone too many chances and they took advantage of that. You got to stop defending and making excuses for people who don't even respect you. You know, Aquarius, you put yourself out there again, and it didn't go the way that you were hoping it would. Okay? It didn't crush you, so instead of shutting down, you learned from it. Okay? That situation made you realize that you deserve better than the bare minimum. Okay? You gave someone a shot, and they blew it. End of story. But you walked away knowing exactly what you won't accept anymore. You know, opportunities are popping up. I can feel it. Okay, but they only matter if you stay consistent. Nothing happens without real effort, and you're realizing that, right? Your goals are a lot closer than you think. You know, you're done worrying about who approves of you, and you're focusing on getting paid. You know, approval doesn't pay the bills. Action does. All you care about are results, okay? Not opinions. You know, something's going to push your buttons, all right? Your patience or your confidence is about to get tested by the same old drama. You know, your first instinct might be to react, but you're learning not to do that anymore. Right? You're stepping back and you're actually thinking before you respond. Okay? You're choosing to stay out of it. You know, you're letting people deal with their own issues without letting them drag you into them. Okay? That's keeping you from doing stuff that you would just regret later on anyway. You know, you're learning when to push yourself and when to slow down, right? You're not trying to handle everything on your own anymore, okay? You're done trying to be everything for everyone. You're focusing on what really matters, okay? You can't just say yes to everything all the time. You're doing less and you're keeping things simple so you don't burn yourself out, okay? That's what's helping you feel more in control. You know, someone around you or close to you doesn't like how independent and confident you've become. It's almost like they feel threatened by it. You know, they used to have control, okay? And now they don't have that anymore. They liked it better when you were more available and easy to influence. Okay? But listen, the whole dynamic has changed, okay? And they're not okay with it. They can feel you pulling away and it's bothering them, okay? It's bruising their ego. You know, independence makes insecure people uncomfortable. you know what? Let it. Who gives a shit? That's not your problem. Okay? You don't owe anyone an explanation or to change who you are just to make other people feel better. You know, for some reason, it feels like you're scared that if you do better in life, you're going to end up alone. Listen, that fear comes from old thinking, okay? It's not that you're losing people. You're just outgrowing situations that don't fit you anymore. And unfortunately, sometimes those situations are people that aren't going where you're trying to go in life. You know, you've slowed down more than you needed to, just so that no one would feel left behind. But that's over, okay? You can't hold yourself back just to keep the same old company around anymore. You know, you finished the year in a better place, okay? Mentally, emotionally, and financially. Okay, the nonsense is over. And you are focusing your attention where it belongs, okay? Back on your own life and your future. Okay, you know you're on the right path because you're building stability that actually is going to last. Okay, you don't need to explain yourself anymore. Your progress speaks for itself, okay? And the same people who didn't believe in you are about to see how wrong they really were. All right, Aquarius. Hey Aquarius, it's ViLo Energy Healing. Welcome back to part 2 of your reading. This is going to be your bonus info for the month of December. Okay, so let's start off with some timing windows. Now, as always, I'm going to start from the beginning of the month and work my way towards the end of the month. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so December 4th to the 9th, okay, this is when something unfair finally makes sense and the truth comes out about a person or a situation. Now, December 12th to the 18th, okay, this is when a new plan or opportunity kind of clicks and you start feeling mentally confident again. December 22nd to the 31st, okay, this is when things feel successful and stable and you feel proud of yourself and you're ready to move forward. All right, now I'm going to jump into some zodiac signs. All right, now this could be someone you're dealing with. It doesn't have to be. Don't get too fixated on the signs. You could be dealing with any sign. I have here Libra, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Leo, and Pisces. Okay. Now, some symbols that you might be seeing but possibly ignoring. Okay, I'm going to start off with some angel numbers. I'm picking up 1212. That just means that everything is lining up and falling into place. I'm also seeing 808. Okay, that means that money or career starts stabilizing or improving. I'm seeing 999. Okay, that means that you're fully closing out an emotional chapter for good. Okay, I'm also seeing the color light blue or like calm neutral colors. Okay, this means that you're emotionally detaching and getting mentally clear. Okay, so some of you are having dreams of not being able to choose or decide. Okay, this means that your mind is working through like a big decision that you already feel coming. I'm also seeing paperwork. Okay, so this could be contracts, a piece of mail, or documents. This means that something official or money related is being finalized. I'm also seeing scales, okay? Some of you could have court or dealing with like a legal issue. This just means that truth and fairness are coming to the surface in your life right now. Also, some of you are like repeatedly reorganizing your money or your bills. Okay, this just means that you're stabilizing your finances and building long-term security. All right, I'm going to jump into some initials. Okay, this could be your name, their name, first name, last name. Place it how you see fit. Let's see here. We have A, C, D, E, G, J, K, M, S, T, L, and R. All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. If you're enjoying the bonus info, you want me to continue this way, just hit the like button or leave me a quick comment to let me know. All right, thanks for watching, and until next time, sending you love and light.